Look at that beautiful SF, not the skyline, but a mini skyline. But I come out here on the balcony to talk about a very important question. Chalk or straps? Which do you use for deadlift? There's always a lot of myths about like, oh, you need to use this for this specific situation, and you need to use this for this specific situation, and I can confirm that it's true. I mean, these products are released for a very specific situation, and so today I'm going to talk about my own Gym Reaper straps and my own liquid chalk, and talk about the benefits of both, the cons of both, and when you need them, and which I think is better. Let's get into it. So the first product I want to talk about today is liquid chalk. Specifically, I bought the Sport Medic Pro Grade liquid chalk from Amazon. Now when I originally bought it, I got it for $16.99, but because of inflation, it's increased to $18.99 now on Amazon. Some of the key features of chalk, or at least my liquid chalk, is that it comes in an 8.5 ounce bottle and it's in liquid form, obviously, compared to traditional chalk where you have to rub it on your hand. Now, in order to put chalk on, prior to applying it, you have to wash your hands before you put it on, just because if you have sweaty hands, it's going to be hard to keep it on there. After that, you want to squeeze about a quarter size amount of chalk onto your hand, depending on how big or small your hand is. You can adjust, and you just rub it together until it's dry. Next, let's talk about the price and key features of the Gym Reaper straps. Now, the Gym Reaper straps, I got them on Amazon as well for $13.99. There are a lot of good straps out there, but I just decided to go with this one because I see people using it a lot on my stories, and it's at a good price. Some of the key features of this product is that it comes with padded neoprene on the wrist so that it's super soft whenever you wear it, and it's not super rough, and it doesn't cause any type of friction. It comes in a multitude of colors. Now, I got them in traditional black because, you know, I'm basic, but it does come in other colors, such as military green, otherwise known as poop green. There's also desert tan, or there's pink. But again, check out Amazon. I'll link both of these products in the description down below so you can check both of them out. Some of the other key features is that it has the Gym Reaper logo on it. It has the Gym Reaper logo on it, which is... I'm trying to film, bro. There's padded neoprene on the wrist so that when you're pulling heavy weights, it's a lot more comfortable. And finally, the actual strap part that you wrap around the bar is 18 inches and it's cotton, which allows for approximately 2 loops around a normal barbell. I really like having 2 loops because it ensures full coverage for both of your hands. Now, let's jump into the pros and cons of liquid chalk. First, the pros. One of the things that I saw online was that it helps with sweaty hands, and so I had to try it out for myself because I myself have extremely sweaty hands whenever I deadlift. After applying it, I didn't experience any sweaty hands at all, and I rarely had to reapply unless I was lifting anything over 3 plates for deadlift, which in that case I had to reapply every round just because I wanted maximal coverage. Second, and probably the main reason why you want to buy both of these products, is that the bar won't slip whenever you deadlift. I know grip strength is something that people work on a lot, but for me, I just wanted to incorporate some form of product that helped me a lot. And so that's why I decided to buy liquid chalk. And it's true, the bar doesn't slip after using it a couple times. Third, liquid chalk and chalk in general is multi-use. You could use it for a variety of different things. Now, I know for traditional chalk, you usually use it for your hands whenever you're deadlifting. You could use it on your back when you're squatting so the bar stays in place. You could also use it on your shirt too, like near the back, so that you stay in place whenever you're benching. There's a lot of different applications for traditional chalk, but for me, I just wanted something for deadlifting, which is why I got liquid chalk. And that's a perfect segue into my fourth pro, which is that compared to traditional chalk, there's no powder or no dust whenever you apply it, whenever you clap. I know some people like that to hype themselves up, but I have a home gym, so I wanted to keep things a little less messy, which is why I decided to get liquid chalk. And it's been great because there hasn't been any huge mess and any powder that I have to clean off besides on my bar. Now let's hop into some of the cons. The first con that I noticed is that after using traditional chalk, I can say that liquid chalk is a little less grippy than traditional chalk, but again, I think it's an extremely small difference. Now, I can't speak from experience as I'm not that strong yet, but the heaviest I've lifted is 3 plates and 25 with liquid chalk, and no problem. Well, I did have to reapply after every round, but I'd say if you're super into powerlifting and you're lifting extremely heavy weights like 4 or 5 plates, even up to 600, am I even doing math right? Yeah, I'd recommend traditional chalk, but again, if you're just a casual weightlifter or a power lifter just starting off, I think liquid chalk is definitely a good choice. Second, just like traditional chalk, you do have to wash your hands after if you want to use your phone or use other things, or if you like to get it on there, feel free to. It's definitely a preference, and for me, like I said, I like to keep it clean, so that's when I would usually wash my hands after using it. Lastly, this is I don't even know if this is a con, but there's a slightly fruity smell. It's not even a con for me because I like it. I like a fruity. Now, let's move into the pros and cons of lifting straps. Now, like liquid chalk, this product is made for maintaining grip when you're deadlifting, and it works wonders. At first, I was a little afraid because I was worried that, the strap is gonna feel so thick when you're gripping it, but it makes no big difference in my opinion. It provides amazing grip and stability whenever you're deadlifting. I think with straps especially, you do not have to grip as tightly as you do while just gripping the barbell naked. When you're lifting with straps, it will slip to your fingers occasionally, but the amazing thing is when it slips to your fingers, you feel like you have even more grip because the straps has the support of your wrist. And that brings me to my second pro, which is there are neoprene pads on the strap, so my wrists don't hurt whenever I do pull. Lastly, the material of the strap is thick, but it's not so thick that your hand won't be able to wrap it around the entire bar. And I don't think that's a problem with any lifting strap at all. It's made so that you can wrap your hand around the entire bar. But again, it's thick enough where it's extremely comfortable for you to lift with your hands, and you rarely get calluses. Now let's move into the cons of lifting straps. Like I mentioned earlier, your grip still could slip, because I got the drip.
What did he say?
No, but seriously though, it could still slip, which could cause you to use finger grip. Holy crap, I am a rapper! But I found that using finger grip while using straps has been insane. It has felt so good. And I know that a lot of people are probably going to bash on me saying that that's the regular way you're supposed to grip it, is finger grip. But that was my first time, okay? And it completely blew my expectations away. Second, you can definitely feel a tug on your wrist when you're deadlifting. This is, again, because like I said before, you're holding onto the straps and it may slip. And because you're pulling such a heavy weight, it's definitely going to tug on your wrist whenever you're holding it. However, with neoprene padding, you definitely get used to it and it definitely won't be a problem, in my opinion. Lastly, the bar may feel a little thicker. However, that's a given because you are wrapping an extra layer around it. But that's just a trade-off that you have to make whenever you want to use straps and you want more grip. In my opinion, I don't think it's a big deal at all, and it still feels like you're holding the bar normally. Are there any deal breakers with liquid chalk or liquid straps? Liquid straps? I think that depends. One, it definitely depends on the brand that you buy it from. I know Dealbreakers are a good brand, and I haven't had problems with Sport Medic's liquid chalk. But if you do choose to buy from a specific brand, make sure you do your research first prior to buying it. Second, if you want traditional chalk to apply on your back while you're doing squats and bench, then liquid chalk is definitely not the right option because it definitely will not stay on your shirt. But again, if you want it for that application, I would definitely recommend traditional chalk. Now let's move on to some comparisons and topics that people talk about a lot when comparing these two. The first thing that I was most afraid of, and I know a lot of people debate about, is that liquid chalk and regular chalk is for people who do reverse grip, and straps are for people who do double overhand grip, so you have to choose one if you only do one type of grip. Now for me, I would definitely recommend getting both. You may be comfortable with one type of grip. For example, you may have done double overhand grip for your entire life. But I definitely think it's good to expand your skill set in anything, especially in lifting. But for me personally, after doing reverse grip for so long, I was forced by my friend to try double overhand grip. And so after doing so, I actually found that my muscle memory for reverse grip actually became better. I was able to feel out the bar more, I was able to understand where my hands should be, and doing something that was uncomfortable to me actually made the thing that was already comfortable to me even more comfortable. And the uncomfortable thing became comfortable, and it not only increased my skill set, it also increased my confidence too. Now the second thing is, if you do go to powerlifting competitions, chalk is competition legal, whereas straps aren't, so just be aware of that. Now the third thing is that straps are 100% less messy than liquid chalk. You won't have to wash your hands after, you won't get your hands dirty before and during, and by using straps, you won't have to get chalk potentially on your clothes or on your bar. And the last comparison is that compared to liquid chalk, you still could get sweaty hands if you're using straps. This could make you more prone to sweat whenever you're deadlifting throughout your sets, and you could potentially still slip a little. However, I personally had no problems using fingertip grip whenever I do lift, but I do understand that that's personal preference, so that's totally up for you to decide. Now let's talk about my opinion. For me, I actually didn't like straps at first, and that's because I'm especially keen on using reverse grip. However, on some days where I felt like my grip was failing me when using reverse grip and when using liquid chalk, I opted to use straps instead, and after a while, I've grown to love it. When using straps, I definitely feel like I have something to rely on, whereas when I'm using chalk, I feel like I have to rely solely on my grip. And I know that may sound like a bad thing, but for me, I think it's a great benefit to use straps and increase the weight that you're pulling so that you can increase your strength if that's what you're going for. On the flip side, I do want to get used to using liquid chalk more because I do feel like that'll strengthen my grip, and in the event that I compete one day, I'm only allowed to use chalk, so that's definitely something that I want to practice for muscle memory. In conclusion, I think it's extremely beneficial to get both of these products. And no, this is not sponsored. If you're looking to buy one or the other, you can definitely compare the two and see which one you want. I would recommend getting straps if you're just focusing on training and you're not planning on competing. That's what I've been doing, and 100% okay. And even then, if you do double overhand grip in competition, using straps definitely has its benefits. I'd also recommend it if you don't want to get your hands messy and you don't want to clean the bar after. And lastly, I'd definitely recommend getting lifting straps if you do double overhand grip, because that is probably the most ideal way to position your lifting straps on the barbell. Now, if you wanted to get liquid chalk, I would recommend it because you want to compete in a powerlifting meet. You want to practice strengthening your grip more. I'd recommend chalk if you also have super sweaty hands and you don't want to deal with that when you're doing deadlifts. Fourth, this applies to traditional chalk. I'd recommend it to people who want to apply it to their back for squats and bench. And I didn't mention this before, but applying it to your thighs for deadlifts. And lastly, like its counterpart, lifting straps, I'd recommend getting chalk if you prefer reverse grip. But again, it's good for double or overhand grip too. In the end though, I definitely recommend getting both of these products if you're prone to grip strength failure or if you're deciding to lift heavier in the future. And this is because in the future, your grip will definitely reach a limit that your skin just can't deal with. Having straps, liquid chalk, or even traditional chalk in your home gym or as part of your arsenal for your gym equipment is definitely a game changer. In the end, I hope this review really helped you to decide whether you wanted to purchase straps, chalk, or even both. If you have any questions about any of these products, comment below. Links to the specific products that I bought will also be in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe to help with the YouTube algorithm. Ding. With that being said, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, morning, or evening, depending on where you're watching this, and I'm out. This